Showing up for yourself means prioritizing your well being, setting boundaries, taking actions towards your goals and needs, whatever it takes. Even though sometimes the things, our ways towards our goals doesn't necessarily work, we fail at times. Matter of fact is that could be disheartening sometimes, but we still go on because we want to finish the job. We want to finish what we've started. That is showing up for yourself. Other examples about showing up for ourselves is, uh, you know, learning to say no to things or people which, people who drains your energy, or to those people who are actually against your values. Other people's principles. I'm talking about principles and mindsets which are against your boundaries. Learn to say no to these people. Or less is more. Spend less time with these people. Showing up to yourself means sticking to your workout routines, completing your projects, prioritizing the completion of your project, even though your friends are inviting you to go on night out, go for drinks, but you prioritize your project. Learn to say no from them at the meantime until you finish it. Learning new skills despite of the challenges. Learning how to close the deal. Forgiving yourself for the past mistakes. And treating yourself with kindness instead of criticism. And another basic ways to show up for yourself is, setting enough time for rest and sleep. Exercise. Not necessarily do you have to go to the gym. You could go for a run outside, maybe 15, 30 minutes. Walk outside. Walk on the beach side. Connect with nature. Study, spare time for study consistently so that you can able to pass the exam. If that is necessary for you to do, then do it. Because you deserve to pass. That's what you think you deserve. You deserve the best. Now, why is it important to show up for yourself all the time? Even though sometimes you disappoint others because you prioritize yourself. Now, this is important because when you prioritize your need, there could be some instances wherein you dishearten others. You say no to others and that actually hurt them in some point. But, if you just say yes to them, you're not going to be happy anyway. So instead of choosing them, you choose yourself. Now, every time you do this, you study for yourself because you deserve the best. You stick to your workout routine, as I mentioned before. It actually helps you build trust to yourself, which means that you can rely on your own support because you're kind to yourself. You know how to forgive yourself instead of criticizing. And when you keep showing to yourself, it actually also helps you build confidence. You can, every time you finish a job, every time you get the job done, it gives you a sense of accomplishment that you don't actually need. No, you don't necessarily need to see people stand up and clap their hands whenever you finish the job. You can actually feel that. You can actually give that to yourself by means of showing up for yourself. And instead of asking validation, asking praise from others, you give that to yourself first. And when you stick to your plan and learn to say no because you prioritize what your plans, you prioritize, your projects, whatever you meant to do, you're planning to do, then that actually increases your productivity. The way when you're being consistent and committed to your goals, whether your strategy works or not. along the way, you could actually see the progress. You could track the progress, towards your goal. If the strategy, if your action doesn't work, then you can revise it. Even though you failed many times, you revise your plan and you implement, execute till the time that you find something that really works. And that alone can help you build confidence, um, trust to yourself, at the same time, productivity, which means that you're being consistent. And when you prioritize yourself, it even enhances your mental and emotional well being in a way that, you actually build boundaries towards the things that doesn't matter to you. And since you know how to build boundaries, you know how to say no to those unimportant things to you, then that absolutely reduces your stress. And in the most part, when you show up to yourself, when you know exactly what you want and need, it even strengthens your relationships. It could be family, romantic relationship, even to yourself. In a way that, you know, since you're treating yourself well, that way helps you build standards. That way alone helps you teach people how to treat you, which is fair enough. And I do agree with that. If other people wouldn't treat you right, then you spend less time with them, or no time at all, because they're doing you no good. They're not boosting your confidence. They just want to make you feel like shit. So, you're not into that. That's against your values. So stay away from them. So that's how important it is to show up for yourself. And sometimes we feel like, along the way when we're working on our goals, we failed at times. But even though we failed, we are there doing something. It doesn't mean that we're such a failure. We're there. We show up. It's just the things that we're doing didn't work. Then you find another way till you finish the job. So I hope I shared something valuable today. By the way, this is Anne of Reinforcement Club, your fellow positive reinforcer. If you ever appreciate, my message today, you can share this to your family and friends. You can follow me in YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, even in Amazon Music. In X, Reinforcement Club. I do appreciate your time and have a lovely day ahead. Thank you.